A rape case has been registered against a Congress MLA in Kerala, Rahul Mamkutatil, a day after a woman lodged a complaint with Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan after a purported audio recording of a conversation between the two surfaced online. Chief Minister Vijayan promptly forwarded the complaint to the state police chief for necessary action. The case has been filed against the 36-year-old MLA from Palakkad, invoking charges of rape and coercion to terminate a pregnancy under relevant provisions of law. This development comes months after Mamkutil faced multiple allegations of sexual misconduct, with calls for action against the MLA intensifying after a new audio clip and screenshots surfaced in which he was heard insisting that he wanted a child and later urging the complainant to undergo an abortion. Meanwhile, the MLA, who has allegedly remained out of contact since the complaint was filed, posted on social media saying that he would fight the case legally. Apart from the current complaint, a Malayalam actor, several women and a transgender individual had earlier raised allegations of misconduct against the young MLA. The FIR said that Rahul sexually abused the woman thrice after giving a fake marriage promise. The abuse took place in Thiruvananthapuram as well as in Palakkad and was secretly videotaped. When she became pregnant, Rahul forced her to terminate the pregnancy. When she objected, she was blackmailed using the videotape. The police had earlier registered a case against the MLA under 8 non-bailable sections after recording the statement of the women. Police are continuing their investigation based on the detailed complaint. But we will also talk about this and understand what does this really imply for victims who find themselves in such vulnerable positions. Dr. Swati Jindal Garg, advocate on record, Supreme Court, with us on the program. Shamshavi Shireen, advocate, Supreme Court, also with us on the broadcast. Yogita Bayana, women's right activist, with us on the program as well. And last but not the least, Tahira Hassan, activist, also joins us on the show. Thank you everyone for being a part of this conversation. Yogita, I'll come to you first. Well, rape and torture as well as exploitation of the fairer sex is something that happens throughout our country. There are cases that are reported, there are cases that go unreported. But you know what actually puts a very dangerous twist to this already problematic situation is when a powerful person such as a politician gets involved. Things get murkier, individuals can be intimidated, witnesses can turn hostile, and the law machinery finds itself in complications which it doesn't have to. The sensitization that we speak of with the police and the lawmakers is also something that is compromised when a lawmaker is involved. People are naturally, Yogita, scared to take action against somebody who's powerful one way or the other. This is a different tangent to this problem. How do you think one must, or how do you think the government or governance should be dealing with this?
See, this is nothing very, you can say, new to our ears, and we have been hearing such cases where powerful people have been involved, especially politicians, and irrespective of parties. We have seen it multiple times, the power play in this country. However, even a victim, even if the accused is not a politician or not so powerful, it is so difficult for a woman to get justice in this country. But when the person is so powerful, untouchable in terms of the access of police, because police is anyhow kind of easily managed in this country by even a normal person. So you can imagine the power play comes into the picture, how difficult it makes for a woman to even come out and complain and speak about it. This girl must have been suffering for a very long time, and this was just you can say that tip of the iceberg. We can hear, if we get into the details, we will surely know what she must have gone through. And as the system doesn't support, so we that's why we have been fighting for, even if it is a Punjab MLA who fled the country, from a different party, or Kuldeep Singh Sengar, who was MLA of BJP, or the Congress guy here. There are many examples. So I think we need to kind of now go beyond it. Parties should definitely reject such politicians, and kind of they need to have a firm policy. How can they even elect the people with that kind of a background. And I know this might not meet the fate, judiciary is also quite, we have a lot of loopholes. Whether this guy will definitely get punished or not, we get to see that. But even if so, there is a complaint against him, but we are not sure whether he'll still make a very good political career. Maybe better, I would say. This is the unfortunate fact of the country.
You're quite
We have
right.
seen it today.
You're quite right, Yogita, and in fact, that's a harsh truth that you've shared with us and our audience as well. Taira ji, looking at this case, a lot of these politicians and people in powerful position feel the hubris, for the lack of a better word, that their impunity and their immunity cannot be challenged. And why not? There have been people in the past, in the current past, as well as in history as well, who have gotten away literally with genocide, murder, rape, and whatnot. And that's exactly why we need standards in political parties as well.
Yes, this, here the lawmaker has violated the law, he is misusing the law. Mostly the people in position, who hold the position, he's a public representative, he's a MLA. So they misuse their position, exploit women, manipulation, emotional manipulation is there with the women and all. And he made the false promises to get married and forced her to terminate her pregnancy. So these all things, he was not scared, because these powerful people know they will get away after committing this heinous crime. I think it's a systematic failure of the system. But why this is happening, we must put the emphasis on that. It is because the laws are not implemented properly, so there is no fear of law, poor implementation of law. And the second thing is the social stigma, and the character assassination just discourage women. Most of the women we talk, because I'm the women rights activist, so they tell that because these things discourage them to come forward and raise voice against it or get registered the case, or they come after long, delay their action because of this. But I think state, institution and society must stand with the victim, not to silence her. But what happens, mostly the women are silenced. So society has their role also, because it's a patriarchal, and patriarchy is very deep rooted. And second thing, the redressal of such cases should be fast track court. Again, I just quote that after the Nirbhaya, Justice Verma committee was constituted and a strong law was made. Why that is not implemented? That law says that a redressal of such cases should be fast track court. So the witness will be not get hostile. These powerful people can hostile these witnesses also. And what happens? They will get away after committing the heinous crime and influence the investigation. That is the more important thing. So I think these implementation of laws should be proper, because we have very strong laws, but these laws are not implemented properly. If they will not be implemented, this type of accused will commit the heinous crime. Next time, more heinous crime they will commit, and we will only discuss and debate. So I think more important thing, how to curb these rising violence, exploitation, sexual harassment against the women. That is more important. It's a high time.
All right, Dr. Swati Jindal Garg, the loopholes in law is also one of the challenges that a lot of these victims have complained about, a lot of these perpetrators have used to get away with. The Justice Verma report and the meaning of it continues to in fact obfuscate and confuse a lot of us, because we were one of those people who thought that after 2012, December 16th, the Nirbhaya case, things would drastically improve when it came to women's safety, security, and even the intention with which some of these rapes are in fact executed. But none of that has changed.
See, Vineet, you're quite right, and we all know that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. As far as the loopholes in law are concerned, well, I would say that one step in the right direction has been the implementation of BNS, which talks about now the new induction of a section 64 that says that if consent for sexual intercourse has been obtained on a deceitful promise of marriage, then that has been now that niche has been carved out as an exclusive section. Erstwhile, IPC did not have this, and any false promise of marriage was clubbed under our regular 376, which was for rape. So now we have a niche carved out because more and more such cases were seen to be coming where the aggressor perpetrator would throw a promise of marriage, and then based on that promise he would obtain consent for intercourse. Now this case also allegedly is one of such cases where in fact the MLA has allegedly expressed his need to have a child, and once the woman was in the family way, and then he went on to induct an abortion against her, a heinous disastrous act, and especially when the protector becomes the aggressor, the woman does not know where to turn to. It was only when she allegedly approached the CM that things have come to light. We have a lot of evidence in the form of WhatsApp chats. Now, when the FSL is done on these chats, now that remains whether the chats are authentic or not. But be that as it may, on the face of it, the fact that the MLA has just fallen off the grid, it just points out that something is amiss. And I can just hope that the law would be unbiased here and nobody would intend to protect anyone, and may law take its own course, and then let's see what happens. Hoping for the law to win for a change and not the case to just wither away over false promises of redressal.
Shavish, what about the confidence of the victim when it comes to the efficacy as well as the robustness of the law? Is that something that is compromised when the law is mishandled, misrepresented, and misused by such powers?
Yes, you could say so, because they are laws. Laws come for the welfare of the people, including the MPs also. But then the problem is that when I would say that both the parties misuse it. So here, because we all have been talking about this case, but we don't know the complete facts of the case. For example, what was the age of the girl, the one who is the victim in this case, and since if she was mature enough, what was her education background. So this way you would able to get to know that whether she was forced in that relationship or not, because sexually, if she is making a statement that she was raped on the pretext of marriage, there is something that you have to understand, that if someone is having an affair and they have a sexual relationship, so and the relationship did not work out, the girls come out and say that she was forced into it. So you will see the age, you will see the educated background of that girl, and then the courts will actually decide in the matter. But coming back to the law point, so here in India in 2017, we under the Supreme Court's order, there are around 12 special courts in across nine states in India, wherein these special courts are held only for the MPs and the MLAs, so that their criminal matters are being tried in a fast track manner. So these courts are there, and Supreme Court is monitoring it, so that they could see whether the judges are doing it nicely or not. So the matter would be transferred over here, and then this court would be seeing that the documents and everything comes on the record, and speedy trial is given in the matter. But coming back to the present case, if we see the document wherein the boy is saying, the man is saying that he wants a child, and on the other hand, when the girl gets pregnant, she is forced to abort the child. So that is again a story that eventually the police would just get into the inquiry and then get out the facts of the case, that whether she was forced into it, or she committed the abortion by herself or not. So it would be too early for us to discuss about the complete detail of the case. But yes, coming back to the fact that we have special courts, and the MPs and the MLAs can be tried over there, and the person who is held who is a victim in the matter, those people can get justice in a speedy manner.
Okay, fair enough. And Yogita, another high-profile case of Prajwal Revanna in Karnataka, who went to the court and said that there is not a shred of evidence against him. Multiple women came forth, and complained about him and the kind of torture that he inflicted on them. He said that it was a media trial, and he was able to afford all the high-profile lawyers, whereas the victims were left to defend, publicly on their own. And this is the imbalance as well, which does not produce the justice that they require.
This is the situation in many multiple other cases. We count so many cases are there where it was because the media highlight or the protests or the pressure of society, which few of the cases could come forward. Otherwise, how many such incidences must be happening by the powerful people, which do not even surface because there is so much of power play there. So exactly that's the problem. And we should salute to the women who have the courage to come forward, and to the people who support them, to the media houses who constantly be their voice. It is very important. You think Nirbhaya kind of a case would have gone for justice if there was no media pressure? No, because we deal with similar cases, so many similar cases, but we don't get to see the light of justice. So it is very important how people pick up certain cases. However, we can't do that justice to each and every case, but we try to do that. But this is the fact. When you open the Pandora box, you know how dirty it is. But till the time nobody opens it, how would we see that? So unfortunately, even in Prajwal's case, this was a thing. It was very cozy and nice, but when we got to see the reality, it was the dirtiest reality we've ever seen and heard. So that's exactly I would like to say. So we should have that mechanism to instill that confidence into the victims or potential victims or women of the country, that report, you'll be heard, you'll get justice. Unfortunately, that is missing.
And Dr. Swati Jindal, in fact, the Chief Justice also just a few days ago weighed in on the incumbency of the time it takes to find a judicious end or a conclusion to a case in our country. He said that the systemic way in which cases have piled up has also led to the erosion of faith in the system. And if you couple it with people who are exploiting it at the other end, and we already know that sometimes the delays also can be a form of injustice, it is a severe blow to any victim.
No doubt, Vineet. See, we know that justice delayed is justice denied, but at the same time, we also must consider that justice hurried is justice buried. Now, most of the times, when the layman talks about how the courts are taking so much time, they forget that the accused person also has certain legal rights. You were just speaking about the Prajwal Revanna case. We cannot forget that ultimately, by the trial court, he was convicted and he went up to the Supreme Court and his appeal was dismissed at that point of time. Now his appeal is pending in the High Court. So we can't say that, the judicial system today or, the police is totally compromised. I think sometimes it's very easy to lay the blame on the system. But we forget that it is the public that makes the system, that is present here. The system is ultimately we, the people. So we, the people as a whole, need to, raise our voices and be a part of the change that we want to be or we want to bring. So today, when the minister says that yes, the delay is causing a lot of distrust, at the same time, we cannot just hurry through things. Justice is only justice when it is seen to be done. Until and unless we give an equal opportunity to the accused to defend himself, the entire judicial system will turn into a kangaroo court where media is going to conduct trials on a day-to-day basis. Four people will stand up in arms, shout out slogans, and they will feel that they are justified in sending a powerful person behind bars. That should not be the case. We must also understand.
Ideally, this should not be the case, but unfortunately, this is how we have been operating. If courts were performing well, I mean, you can see how could you that Nithari Kant person is out of court. So we can't 100% say that courts are doing very well. You know, we can't say that. They are definitely not there. They are not doing their job properly, and we don't want to protest. We don't feel like every day we get up from the house and start shouting slogans. We are not meant for that. We also have lives. But when we see injustice, we have to raise, and one should thank the protesters and people and media
Okay.
rather than, you know,
Fair
saying
enough.
that it's
Fair
become a
enough.
kangaroo court. You should respect the people who raise their voice.
All right, fair enough. We've run
Because-
out of time,
yeah.
but every opinion that has been shared here is valued and it's appreciated. Thank you everyone for being a part of this important conversation. We take a short break. Be right back.